We are coming to you from Bosasa Child and Youth Care Centre in Klerksdorp, and this is where behind me the security personnel of this centre are on strike. This centre was under Bosasa 3 years ago, and this is before Bosasa was liquidated. Just a background of Bosasa, one can always of course refer to the part 3 of the Zondo Commission's report, where the report stating how Bosasa was benefiting from government tenders and so forth. But just to give you this background is that the security personnel behind me were employed by Bosasa 3 years ago before the organization that is Bosasa was liquidated. But these workers are saying that different staff members were absorbed by the Department of Social Development here in the Northwest Province, except security personnel. And it is not just this region that is on strike. You go to Rustenburg, you go to Taung, they are having similar issues. But to just talk more about this, I will just invite Tamim Bipa, who is the regional organizer of Nehau. Thank you so much for joining us. We see security personnel here, they are on strike. You mentioned that it is not just Klerksdorp, it is Rustenburg, Taung and other areas. Just give us a background. What is going on? They want to be absorbed. How are they not absorbed by the department?
No, thank you very much, my sister. The challenges started in 2019, post-liquidation, when department was supposed to absorb everybody, but they chose to absorb a certain portion of employees and they left the component of security outside. Now, that created a huge challenge because from 2019 already, what they did, they gave month-to-month contract to service providers. It created a serious administrative blunder, because you will understand that if you had to bid on a month-to-month basis, codes and all of that, it's a lot of work. They could not keep up. They appointed service providers late. Workers, as I'm talking to you now, is 3 months without getting paid. I mean, it's totally unfair. And these service providers, when they are appointed, they are claiming, when you see and you check their claim, they claim for uniform, tools of trade and all of that, but they are not providing these tools of trade to our workers. But this is the money that they are claiming and is paid to them. It's fraud in essence, and department is doing this thing deliberately, knowing. So we are saying the department is being run down deliberately. It's in a mess. The HOD cannot run this department. The MEC of Social Development is sleeping on duty. It's nowhere to be found. It's incompetent, if we could say the least.
Let's talk about this back pays. One case study which you narrated to or even referenced to is one company that had just 1 month contract, February contract, but was paid from December. If you can just unpack that for us.
Remember, this administrative nightmare, it makes them to delay in terms of appointing, it makes them to delay in terms of paying service providers. You have permanent officials or employees who are stationed there permanent from Bosasa. So when any service provider is appointed, it inherits these employees. So the employees are providing service on permanent basis. These service providers, when they are appointed and backdated and backpaid, not necessarily have been provided service. So they are paid for service that they did not provide, and they are underpaying these poor employees. An employee here is going home after deductions 5,000 rands, and when a service provider for 1 month is paid almost 500,000. Yeah. It's a grand scale, it's a top-notch fraud that we cannot tolerate, and department is failing. Department of Social Development is failing to run these secure care centers. Something needs to give in. The MEC is failing, sleeping on duty. The HOD is failing, it does not have interest, none whatsoever.
We understand that someone from the department was supposed to address them but has not arrived as yet, but will be just in keeping an eye here as the security personnel behind me are striking here in Klerksdorp. Back to you in studio.